Hello friends, this is Scott, and I had to do something that I don't like to do, which is purchase soil. This is 1 cubic yard of the best stuff they have at the nursery. It's $95 a cubic yard, and it's what comes to about $102. Yeah, it's pretty expensive stuff, but I need dirt. If you've been watching my videos, I've been trying to make, beds and trying to screen soils and things like that, and piling lots of manures from the pasture onto my beds, but I just can't keep up. I just can't catch up, I should say, because I'm still behind. But you see, there's lots of places I could use some soil. And yeah, the organic life in the soil gets used up pretty much every year, so you got to keep adding. And as hot as it's been, the sun's been baking the soil, and I've had uncovered beds. And again, Mother Nature likes to be covered. That's where all those weeds are from. So I do all this weeding, and then I leave the soil exposed, and then it gets sun-baked, and then I've got a little bit of an issue. But yeah, I've got lots of uses or lots of needs for more soil. And a cubic yard is hardly anything, but I needed it because it's now time to plant the summer vegetables, and I'm going to use this cubic yard of soil sparingly, just to make sure that I can get those vegetables into at least some decent soil. And then I'll continue to mulch and bring in more soils and screen soils from the big pile of dirt and do all that fun stuff. So yeah, I've got lots of uses for soil, and I've just got to keep on swimming. So that's the best I can do. But yeah, at least now I don't have to carry buckets through my yard because I don't have a terraced yard here. I can just wheel the wheelbarrow wherever I need to go. So yeah, it makes for a little bit quicker unloading. But again, a cubic yard isn't a ton of soil, but it's enough to get a start anyway. I'm going to show you where I used it and see how effective it was in planting my summer vegetables. It's also exciting because we do have some spring vegetables that are coming on, ready for harvest, so I'll be showing you a little bit of that too. But starting out, I thought I'd put some down here in the trench because I am going to put some herbs down here in the corner. And so, yeah, I did a couple wheelbarrows there. But I quickly realized as fast as this material was disappearing from my truck that I've got to be very, very conservative in what I'm doing here. So yeah, I'm just going to put the soil where I need it. And along here is where I replaced that siding where the old greenhouse was, is I'm going to be putting my summer squashes here and my cucumbers. That's where the plan is. It gets a lot of sun, a lot of reflected heat here, so I don't know how those plants are going to do, but we'll try. Seems like every year I lose my first cucumbers, and then I go buy them again, and then I end up having a little bit of success. But I've been watching a lot of videos on pickling lately, of all types of vegetables, and I think I'm going to try to do that. I love pickles and pickled vegetables. So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe I'll use more of this fresh stuff in that way. But I definitely needed some soil here because this bed is only partially made. All I've got the cardboard manures, and this is where I want to put some big pumpkins. And so I just put 3 wheelbarrows down, and I'm going to plant 3 of the bigger varieties of pumpkins, and then I'm just going to get some liquid fertilizer going, and that'll be a future video, and just fertilize. And I'll keep building the beds and just let the leaves sprawl over just that dirt there. But here we go. This is what I bought at the nursery for my summer vegetables, and let's see if I can read the tags as I go through here. Trying to sort them out a little bit, but yeah, let's see what we got here. Those are spaghetti squash. There are those 3. And then we have a delicata, and I think I got a couple delicatas. Yep, there's 2. And again, I hope I can read all these tags. I'm going kind of quickly here. What is that? That is a buttercup, and I may have had 1 or 2 buttercups. I'm not even know why I grabbed a buttercup, but we'll try them. I did get a couple acorn squash. Those are good. And there's the other one. And looking back there, I got a banana squash on the left. And there's another buttercup. That's the second one. I think I grabbed that because they didn't have a lot of variety. But I like those just for baking. And then the spaghetti squash, or the banana squash, I love to make soups out of. So that's a great, those big old squash. Then I've got a Boston pickling cucumber, and I've got a Munchies cucumber, and then there's one other variety that I try to get a close-up of here, and I don't know if I can read the tag or not. It's a handwritten tag, so let's see what this one says. This is a Belt Alpha or something. I do have a Swiss chard. I didn't plant any other lettuces or any of the greens this year. I'm probably going to grow those inside in the future. I just do that. But I have a little sugar baby watermelon, and I've never had luck with watermelon, so yeah, we'll throw one in there. But again, I'm going to start growing some greens inside. Just keep the bugs out and have them all year long. But here's my herb section. I've got some Italian flat parsley, got some rosemary, And then that's a cilantro. I don't think I show you the tag very well there, but that's what that is. And hopefully that'll reseed, and I'll just continue to have cilantro. It bolts really quick in the sun, so yeah, it's one of those crops you got to keep planting. Greek oregano, and I do have 2 basil. Well, it should just be a sweet basil, I believe. And I'm not sure what that last thing is there. Let's see what we got there. And we have that is a thyme. That's a lemon thyme there. So yeah, we'll have a little bit of an herb section. And then here we have, these are the summer squash, zucchini, and then we have a straight yellow, straight neck, and then we also have a crookneck squash. Crookneck's my favorite of a summer squash, so I've got those. And those are good for pickling too, so we'll probably give that a try. I do have a 6-pack of tomatillos for my salsas, and I've got some Ocho San Martin peppers. And here's my other peppers. I did get some big jalapenos, looks like a 6-pack. And what do we have here? That's another chili de arbol. That's just a spicy chili. Another hot pepper. That's a gigante. I can't even say the word. Jalapeno. A few sweet peppers. I like my green peppers and eggs. And then I do have a 6-pack of eggplant. And looking back over, I did pick up some seeds, and those are the pumpkins. I've got 3 varieties of the big pumpkins. So yeah, I mean, my pumpkin bed's not ready for pumpkins, but again, I'm going to use or make some liquid fertilizer and use it and see if I can get something out of it anyway. So might as well try. But there you go. That's what I have to plant, my summer vegetables, and I also have some corn that I already previously purchased. So yeah, this along here, I mentioned this is going to be where the summer squash are going and the cucumbers. So I'm in the process of planting those. And the soil below is kind of baked, mixing in the new soil I just brought down with that. And I'll water everything in really, really heavily. So hopefully we'll be able to get a crop out of here. But I'm going to have to use a little fertility probably. And then right out here in the middle where I face a little bit of shade with the big trees from the neighbors is all of my winter squash. And so I just stuck everything, I spread everything out, 4 to 6 feet, and just planted them all together, let them all run together and see what they do. I have heavily put manures in here and over the last couple of years. So this should be fairly fertile, but again, I'm worried about the shade factor. But yeah, well, again, it is what it is. So hopefully we'll get some winter squash because I love to bake some winter squash. Spaghetti squash being my favorite. And again, in this little corner where I did put 3 wheelbarrows of that soil is their little herb garden. I'm thinking I probably want to put blueberries along this edge, kind of give a little bit of privacy. That'll be in the future, but we'll see. This year I'm just going to use it for herbs, and if I have to move herbs around a little bit, they're fairly easy to transplant if they are perennial. Not all are perennial. Most of them are annuals. But here's my pumpkin area, and again, it's just barely. I didn't get anywhere near where I wanted to get. But I'm going to plant on one side, and I'm just putting, each package only has 6 to 10 seeds in it. So I just built a little hill, and then I'm just putting the seeds all the way around the hill and on top. And then whatever grows, I'll probably thin out. If it comes in heavy, if it doesn't come in heavy, I'll have a few plants, and I'll just mulch around those. And I'll just keep adding cardboard and manures and just, letting the leaves, kind of go into the sun there toward the driveway. That's the plan there. Now, corn is something that I love. Being from Nebraska, that's probably the case, but I love my sweet corn. So I put in this long row, or actually there's 3 rows on this little section. Lots of bindweed here, so it's a major pain and weed. And you'll see even in a few days how much the bindweed has grown. But the corn, I'll show you, has come up, and I'm going to let the corn come up pretty strong before I get in there and start weeding much because I don't want to mess up my row of corn. I am being more, fastidious about making straight lines. So, yeah, this little area, though, only had 3 rows, and I hope that's enough for good pollination because corn is a wind-pollinated variety of vegetable, and usually it's better to grow in thick blocks rather than just a few skinny rows. So we'll see. I did go 30 inches between each row. It's 30 to 36 is recommended, and I didn't have enough room for 36. So I went with an early Sun Glow hybrid, and the only reason I went with that is because that's what they had at the nursery. So that's what we're going to try. And the way I plant is I do, again, as you saw that I drew a trench about 1 inch deep. I do plant 2 seeds close together, and then I plant them those two seeds about 10 inches apart for the next grouping of seeds. I don't want to leave blank spaces. Nothing worse than having if you just put one seed, and you may have, a couple not come up in a row, and you end up with a big blank spot, and I don't want that. So by planting two seeds together, they'll help each other, support each other, and if they both grow, great. If they don't, whatever. But here's a look at how I plant them. And again, if I try to chase these again and replant, the pollination is going to be off, and it won't help anything. So yeah, corn is a one-shot deal, and in this area, you got to do it and just hope for the best. And I'll show you again. I'm putting a backup patch in too. Can't do much succession planting down here with corn. I did it a few weeks apart last year and barely got a little bit at the end of the season. So I think I planted this patch, and then it was about 7 days later, I planted the second one. But then I had this little section here that I wasn't doing anything with right next to my sweet peas, which I'll show you a little bit more. They're doing wonderfully, but I wasn't going to plant green beans because I have a ton frozen and sitting in the freezer, but I got them. I might as well use them. So, beans are good fresh too, so I'll just eat some fresh. And I didn't think I was going to plant that many, but, it seems like with this patch, I'll probably have more beans than I had last year. But yeah, I'm getting a little lazy here. I'm just dropping them on top of the soil, and that's just, I'll space them out, but here's how they look, just kind of dropping them. And it's not perfect. It doesn't need to be. But as I push them into the soil, I have to get on my hands and knees to do that. And as I push them in, I spread them out a little bit more. And I push them in about 1 inch deep, and this soil's pretty loose. Yeah, I did loosen it up pretty good with a hoe. So yeah, we're just going to use the seeds that we have, and rather than waste them, might as well grow something. And again, if I have too many, I can give them away, or I can just keep on freezing and have them for another couple of years. So we'll see. But yeah, nice little patch, and then even in that little of an area, I can get a ton of beans out of that. So I think we'll have more beans. And here's my second planting of corn, and I was able to do 5 rows over here. And this is over by the berries in the front of the yard, or the backyard on the south side. And again, same planting process, just 2 seeds every 10 inches, and we'll just get that all planted up. And this is how I just kind of cover them up, and then I step on it just to kind of make a little bit of soil contact there. And yeah, pretty easy process. That bed doesn't take long. It takes longer to draw the string and make sure you have straight lines. But I watered very heavily because the soil was very, very dry. I've not been watering it. I have watered a couple times, but bare soil, does not hold moisture. So you got to have organic matter, and you need covering. But so here's the first bed. This is about a week after I planted it, and lots of bindweed. But you see here, there's the corn. It is coming up, and so it looks like we're having some pretty good germination as I look down the row. So we'll see. But again, I'll let the corn get a little taller, and then I'll go in there and weed it. The beans, though, they sprouted right away. They were up within probably 5 days, some of them. So yeah, that seed was still good. I just had it in my garage, in a hot garage all summer, and then cold garage all winter, and they're still viable. So we'll see what we get. But I'm excited about my broccoli, and I've been picking the broccoli. And yeah, it came up pretty good. And a lot of people say they have a hard time growing it, and I never seem to have much problems. The only time I have a problem with broccoli is if I try to grow it from seed myself. My timing gets off, and it's just better to buy the plants from the nurseries because they know what they're doing. And yeah, all the heads aren't huge, but they do send out side shoots. So I'm going to harvest the heads and blanch them up and put them in the freezer, and then I'll eat the side shoots all through the summer because you don't pull broccoli. You just leave it in the ground and let them keep growing, the side shoots. And that's what I'll eat for fresh eating. And I may even have enough to freeze a little bit more, but I think I got 6 quarts of broccoli, so that's good. So we'll have some good eating. And I still may have a little bit from last year. I've got everything I've got frozen's in my refrigerator upstairs, my freezer. So I'll be eating on that until we have a lot of fresh veggies in the garden. Here we go, though. The peas are coming on. It's a great pea patch. I mean, these peas are healthy and tall, and it's going to be bountiful. So hope I have a little bit to freeze there, too. But fresh eating with peas is probably my favorite. Corn's a close second, but sweet peas are nothing better. Picking them is another thing, but eating them is top notch. And we had some weeding. I'm still doing that. So I just wanted to show you this bindweed is just outrageous. You can't stay on top of it. So all I can do is a few times a year is to get in here and on my hands and knees and a couple buckets and just rip this stuff out. It's futile. I mean, I'm not solving any problems, but I just want my yard to look a little bit better. So yeah, we got that tore out, and I do have hen and chicks around the edges. I did not plant those there, but I've been keeping them alive. So I probably put an herb garden in here eventually, but we'll see. But now this video is why I chose to, move to the homestead. This is my happy place. This is in the evening, and I'm out here picking some broccoli, and it's just, there's nothing better than being out in the country in the coolness of the evening after a hot day, and just enjoying the bounty that you can grow yourself. And the food's much healthier, better tasting, but the activities of gardening keep you young. And I think I'm closing in on 60 here in a couple of months, and I'm still doing pretty good. I'll feel it. I'm good for a couple of days, then I got to take a day, go a little slower, but yeah, I'm still very active, and I want to keep being that way. And this is the lifestyle that I want to do for the rest of my life. And I hope, that people can understand that there's value in the simplicity and living in the country. Well, thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Again, I'm close to 1,000, but it seems like YouTube is not my friend. The algorithm, I've been fighting this channel for a long time, and I'm just now getting close to 1,000. So if you can hit that button, I'd sure appreciate it. Thanks.